Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybrooke Family Farm. So today I wanted to make it's a bit of a controversial topic, simply because my opinions of what's going on in the world is very different than most people. Um, and I know that right now, since the new year has started, there's been a lot of propaganda and a lot of fear going around, and that's just that's not me. You know, I don't I know that I could totally grow this channel faster if I started talking about all these taboo topics and trying to tell people that they ought to be afraid of this and they ought to be afraid of this and that they got to be scared of all this stuff and start acting like I'm some sort of expert that knows everything about everything and that these are the things that you have to do. And I could make up pretend timelines to say like that, oh, in 9 days this is going to happen, and in 14 weeks gas will be at this price, so you better stock up now and stuff. There's been a lot of different channels that have been doing this now for the last like 4 years, and people are just, there's so much fear that in the last 4 years has been going around in the collective that fear is like sex now, it sells. And it's kind of funny because a lot of times like I'll scroll through YouTube to see like to find new channels and different people to watch and stuff, because like some of the people that I used to watch, they've bitten onto the whole fear bullet and stuff. And it's just, I don't I don't want to live my life like that. I have started homesteading for a reason, and that is so that way I don't have to live with fear and stuff. And I distanced myself from the mainstream world and from society because of all the fear that people were living with. And I don't want that to tamper with me in my life, in my own sanity and my own sense of peace and stuff. And like when I've been looking to try to find other things to watch and stuff, because it's just like even people that are just strictly gardeners are now like talking about how you have to plant a garden this year, otherwise you could starve to death. And it's like, no, no, you don't. Like, there's people that cannot physically garden. There's people that cannot physically homestead, but that they want to watch this content so they can learn skills. Like, there's no place for fear on a homestead channel. Unless if you're like, oh my God, I'm getting chased by a bull, somebody send help. That's the only time that there is a place for fear on a homestead channel. Or if you're like showing somebody how to cut down a dangerous tree or something ridiculous. Like, it's really frustrating too, because like I know that I could do things differently on this channel. I could, take half my clothes off and be in my skivvies out here while there's snow on the ground. So then that way, it'd give somebody a quick pleasure or whatever BS that people are into. And then I could become YouTube rich. I understand that and stuff. I understand that things are different, but to me, there's no place for that in this kind of realm, in this sort of reality and stuff. I'm here to try to teach people how to basically walk away from the fear and how to silence that voice inside of your head that's making you scared of everything. To try to silence the news and the media around you. And like I think that's it's kind of a disservice that a lot of people have sort of stepped away from that because it makes money and stuff. And like I used to watch a lot of different channels now that have actually turned to that. They've taken like devotional type of videos where it's like, their old videos are very like pure of heart and just come from a place of love, and they've flipped the script on it now because it sells better, and it's turned into a video of I'm telling you to be afraid because I love you. And that's not how it works. Like, you know, and people, a lot of times will even try to bring like the Bible into the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle of, why they're telling you to be afraid, because it's biblical and all this stuff. But they're forgetting about the other biblical part where, God provides for those that try to provide for themselves. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's I've been noticing so much of a picking and choosing, with different people and with the news and with all of this different stuff and different sources, where it's like they want to tell everybody that everybody's screwed and everybody's like totally gonna die, or be miserable, or all of this stuff. And it's just, people are buying into it left and right, and it really is upsetting because it's like I feel like I can't reach a lot of people, because I won't change who I am. Um, I don't even know how to phrase it. Um, I don't even know. I don't even know how to put words to it, of the fact that I refuse to I refuse to do the things because they might make me more popular. And granted, I didn't have a lot of friends in high school because of the same issues, because of the same reasons. I've always just tried my best to always be authentically me, because I stick out like a sore thumb. I Every time that I've tried to fit in, I stick out worse. So I mean, it doesn't work. But beyond that, like, I keep thinking about how, you know, back in 2020, there was a lot of fear that was going around. And I think that this year is honestly going to be one of them same years, because 2020 was also like a big election year and all that stuff in the US. And like, I think that there's going to be a lot more of the fear and of the propaganda and all of that stuff. And what I'm actually encouraging you guys to do is to shut it out. Like, to not subscribe to that. And I'm not talking about like YouTube subscribers. I mean, if you are subscribed to like the fear porn type of channels, I mean, that's a great idea to not listen anymore, because it's causing you so much more stress and so much more anxiety and so much more fear. And you're spending hours of your week listening to these people, 20-minute video here, 20-minute video here. Well, after you watch a handful of them, you've just wasted an hour of your life that you could have gone did a bunch of different things, or learned a bunch of different things and stuff, besides just being scared. um, you know, but my biggest suggestion of hope is to just unsubscribe from all of it. If you are friends with people that are always talking about, that you got to be afraid of this, or you got to worry about this, or you got to do this, or you got to do that, or this might happen, or you guys get the point. Just unsubscribe from it. Just be like, I'm not dealing with it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know. I don't. There's no place in my heart for that. There's no place in my mind for that junk, for that toxicity. It's a new year. You guys should all try your best to start the year off, from a place of a different mindset, to try to grow your mind, not to shrink it down with all of the fear. Because honestly, like, it's been getting heavy and stuff. If you're someone that can, that's a very sensitive person, to say the least, you can sense the tone of the rooms when you go places. It's stressful, it's heavy, it's toxic. There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of worry, there's a lot of anxiety. And it keeps, as the years go on, it just keeps getting more and more and more. And like, a lot of people don't realize how much stress they've been under for the last 4 years, or even the last 5 years and stuff. They don't realize that society as a whole, across the entire planet, has been living in a place of fear and stress. The only people that have not been are people that live disconnected, people that live like me and stuff. And I'm not off grid. I'm not in the middle of nowhere. I literally live a couple miles out of town and stuff. Like, we are not off grid. We are not any of that stuff. It's just, I've unsubscribed to all of that. I've shut it out. I've toned it out and stuff. Like, for a couple years, I actually wasn't even on social media at all and stuff, just because it was too much. It was too heavy. And I'm not telling you to bury your head in the sand. I'm telling you to invest your energy wisely and stuff, and to invest your time very wisely. That if you want to watch something on YouTube and you want to fill your time because you have, hours of, a gap of not having anything to do, or you're at a doctor's appointment and you're waiting for forever, instead of just sitting there aimlessly scrolling through social media for God only knows how long, read a book. Like, it doesn't even have to be an old-fashioned paper book. Like, download a book on your phone of something you want to learn and read that instead. You can scroll through Facebook for hours and you'll never learn anything. You just wasted hours of your life. And honestly, like, those hours, you are never going to get them back. Every word that I just said, I'm never going to get them back. For one, I don't know how to edit videos. But for two, I'm not going to. It's all, I said it, it's there, it's out there, it's done and gone. Every moment is fleeting. As soon as it happens, it's gone. And people are not realizing how much time they are spending on social media, how much time they're spending consuming the news, reading things that make them upset, reading things that make them scared, listening to things that scare them and stuff. It's bad enough that there's one of the biggest genres in movies is horror movies, because people like to be scared and stuff, which, if you're one of them people, I'm not dissing you at all. But when the mainstream world has become a reality of just scaring the bejesus out of people because it sells well, that's kind of a problem and stuff. It's just things have gotten into a place that are not good, that are very difficult for a lot of people. A lot of people right now are very stressed out about finances, are stressed out about the job loss, are stressed out about how they're going to afford stuff. And like, I'm just telling you right now, if you just stop listening to all of the fear-based propaganda, all of the stuff that makes you feel afraid, that makes you feel stressed out, that makes you feel anxious, that keeps you up at night, you'll find the solutions. You will absolutely find the solutions every single time, because you're just looking for solutions. If you're constantly looking around the world going, everything is bad, everything is bad, everything is ugly, then what you're going to see is everything is ugly. If you're walking around the world going, it's a good day, it's a good world, there's still good people, there's still good opportunities, there's still positive things, things can shift, things can change, then you'll start seeing beautiful things. If you go out into nature to go look for flowers and stuff, but you're looking down at the ground the entire time, all you're going to see is the stems. You're going to see the dirt. You're going to see the ugly parts. I'm a gardener, so I don't think that soil's all that ugly. I get kind of fascinated by the little wormholes and all that stuff. But anyways, for the most person and stuff, the majority of people, they're going to see things that they view as ugly or not good or dirty or gross and stuff. They're not going to shift their focus to looking for the beautiful things. They're not going to see it. And if you're looking for positive things, you will always find positive things. But if you're looking for ugly things, you're always going to find them and stuff. I've known quite a few people that are just perpetually bitter. And like, they could meet somebody new and I could be like, oh, they seem nice. And then the other person's like, now, did you see the way that they looked at my floor? Did you see the way that they looked at this? And I'm like, well, I see that they smiled really nice and they, were very friendly and they were cheerful and they were, engaging and stuff, and they, seemed like they wanted to talk. And then the other person would go, well, no, they were prying for information. They're trying to judge me. They think that I'm not good enough. And it's like, no one ever said that. I stood there. I had the same conversation. I watched the same thing and stuff. But what I'm trying to say is, based on your own perspective of what you're looking for and what you're consuming and what you're watching on a regular basis, that is what you will see, especially with how the internet works, with all the algorithms, with all of the things. Everybody has had instances where they talk on the phone or talk in person to somebody about, we'll say, high chairs. And the next thing you know, on their Facebook ads or whatever, or on when they look something up on Google or whatever, they'll start seeing all these ads for high chairs. That's basically how the universe works, how the world works, is what you focus on is what you'll start seeing. It's like when I was in high school, I had a Ford Escort, okay? I had never known anybody that had a Ford Escort. I'd never noticed any Ford Escorts on the road or anything like that until I had a Ford Escort. Then I was like, oh my God, they're everywhere. How did I not see this before? But it was that simple reaction of, suddenly I have a Ford Escort, I recognize the vehicle because I've looked for my own car in the parking lot, and now I see it everywhere. It's the same thing in the world. If you're always looking for, opportunities and positive things and blessings, you'll see them. But other people might just see it as work and stuff. Like for us as homesteaders, we pride ourselves on trying to take things into our own hands as much as possible. And like when we bought this homestead, there was down trees everywhere in the woods. Like it's only 2 acres and half of it is wooded. And like, as you see here is a big down tree that I'm actually sitting on and stuff. There's down trees everywhere. Our house didn't have heat when we bought it. So we did the smart thing and we invested in a wood stove and stuff. So then that way this eyesore and this problem of all these down trees everywhere is actually going to heat our home. And it has been for months now and stuff. I actually just took a break from cutting more wood up because I was tired and stuff. And I mean, what a true example of, like, we were able to get this house for really stinking cheap because people seen how much work there was and how much trash there was and how unkept the woods were. But wouldn't you know it that the most invasive thing in these woods are actually blackberries and black raspberries? Stuff that is making fruit for us, plants that we can sell, ways that we can make money, ways that we can make delicious treats or pies or wine or whatever we want to make and stuff. But what I'm trying to say is, where most people will look at something and say that there's nothing good left, there's nothing positive. If you have the right perspective and the right mindset, you can see all of this abundance and all of these opportunities and all of this beauty and all of these wonderful blessings of things. And like, honestly, that's what I'm hoping that a lot of you guys are all able to adapt to in this new year, to try to strive to, that when things start getting stressful in your mind or in your reality or in your life situations and stuff like that, start thinking about the things that are positives in your life that you're grateful for. Because as you do that, as you go, oh dang it, I tripped over that toy, and then you go, oh wait, stop, nope, I'm thankful I had the money that I could buy my child that toy. As you flip the script like that, eventually you'll stop noticing all of the little minor like annoyances and issues and things that are pissing you off and that are bothering you. You'll stop noticing them because you'll just have this mindset of being grateful. And it just, I don't know, when years ago when my grandpa was still living, he used to say that he loved to help me and my wife Tracy because we were grateful, because he could sense that we really actually appreciated it, and that he had helped people in the past that didn't appreciate it, they didn't value it, they had no gratitude and stuff, and that it made him want to give more and made him want to help more because he knew that we valued what he was doing. And like, he used to do stuff like bring us like 20 dozen of eggs. Like, it wasn't like he was giving us like $150 that everybody would be like, oh my god, thank you. It was random stuff, stuff that we needed and that we could use and that we were truly grateful for. And he always made sure that we were taken care of in that sort of a way and stuff because of how grateful we were. And I like to think honestly that that's kind of how the world works, is that when you have a grateful heart and a grateful mind and an appreciative sense to you, that in weird little ways you get kind of rewarded and stuff. You get gifted things. And that's just kind of my perspective. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to chopping wood. Well, cutting it, not chopping it. I gotta cut it and then I just throw it down the hill so that way it tumbles down the hill, so then that way it's closer to the woodshed, so then it makes it easier and stuff. So that same hill that I sometimes get irritated as I have to walk up because it's very, very steep. Once I'm up here, I'm always really grateful that hill's there, because then I don't have to carry the logs back down. I don't have to carry the 4-foot sections of bucked log back down. I can literally just boop, toss it and watch it tumble down, so then I don't have as much work to do. So it's just one of those things that everything has a duality, has two sides to it, where you might curse the hill on the way up, but on the way down you're really glad for it and stuff. So yeah, if you guys are enjoying this content, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends on social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to help us grow. We'd greatly appreciate it. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.